Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 10:56 p.m. The clock just changed. On this Wednesday evening, going into Thursday morning, it is currently 37 degrees outside. It doesn't feel too cold outside. And we are leaving for Miami, Florida in the morning, very early. We have to be at the airport at like, I think like 4:30 in the morning or something. So we were just talking about when we were gonna leave. And Alex said to me, he goes, how about 4:15? And I go, how about 4 o'clock? We're like 40 minutes from the airport. Which means, as you know, I probably won't sleep tonight. My plan was to get up early today and get all this stuff done that I wanted to get done early. I just realized that I try to fit in like 10 hours worth of stuff into like 4 hours during the day, and it just isn't possible. But I am packed, which is pretty unbelievable because usually when I'm vlogging the night before a trip, I still have to go home and pack, but I'm packed. Alex is completely caught up on work. He was doing some work stuff, and he packed like that quick, and then he was doing some work stuff. And so yeah, so he's just sitting there hanging out. He's watching TV on his computer. Well, he's watching some TV show on his computer. He's completely caught up on Euphoria. He didn't know about the 2 episodes in between season 1 and season 2, so I was just telling him about that. Oh, by the way, I finished season 1 of Euphoria last night, and I started, I did a whole video talking about it on my Peter Does Stuff channel if you're interested in that, and I started watching the first episode of the in-between episodes, which is called, like, Special Episode Rue, and the second episode is, like, Special Episode 2, Jules. So, and I had downloaded the new James Bond movie to watch on the plane because I didn't think Alex was interested in watching that at all. And so I just said to him, I said, don't forget to download some stuff to watch. And he's like, well, I downloaded the rest of season 2 of Euphoria. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, what did you download? And I said, the new James Bond movie. And he goes, oh, I want to see that. And I said, well, we can just watch it in the room this weekend, then I'll just save it for you. I downloaded something else. I don't know what the other movie is. I rented 2 movies, and the first one was the James Bond movie, and I can't remember what the second one was. So yeah, I'll just watch something else. I was actually going to start watching that show, The Servant or something that my friend told me to watch on Apple TV. So I may start watching that and download that as well, plus the Euphoria episodes. I mean, even if I just watch Euphoria on the plane, I have like 1.5 of the special episodes and then 5 of the new episodes to watch. So, and then I'd finally be caught up with everybody else that is in the Euphoria that is called Euphoria. So anyway, I got up today. I actually slept in. So let me tell you, I went to bed early last night. Well, not early, but I went to bed early for me, which was 3 a.m. And I was having the most bizarre nightmare / dream. It was kind of scary, but kind of not really. But it was, all these like guys were trying to get me. And it was like, well, people were trying to get me. And they had these masks on. I think it was actually, if you've seen Euphoria, there's like this montage, that was the word I was looking for earlier. There's like this montage that they do at the end of episode 8, and it's like all these memories that she has from her life, and then it goes into this thing, and it's very well done, very cool, artistically thing, where it's like all the people, she wears this burgundy sweatshirt the whole season, and you find out why later she does. But it's all these people in like burgundy, and it's like to this dance thing, and they're like throwing her up in the air and catching her. It's really powerful. But I have like, do you know that movie like Eyes Wide Shut? I have like, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like anything, you know, sensual. But I have this like nightmare that these people were like trying to get me, and they all had those masks on that were just like those white masks, those plain white masks. And I woke up and I was like, I'm hungry. Which is always what I think when I wake up, right? Oh, I'm glad that I said that though, because I have M&Ms in the pantry that I want to take on this trip and put them in my backpack. So, actually did really well unpacking too. I'm gonna check a bag, even though we're only going for a couple nights, but I also have to bring a fan because it's impossible to get a fan in Florida at these hotels. I don't know why. So I brought a fan, and it's a small fan, but I have to put it in my carry-on, which means everything else has to go in. I can't fit everything in a carry-on that I want to carry on. So carry on. So I'm gonna check a bag, which is fine because Alex wanted me to put like his like cosmetics or dop kit in there. So I put that in there. And but I actually did really well unpacking. I still brought more than I needed. So we're only going for 3 nights. We're just going Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then we're coming back on Sunday. And so I brought 2 pairs of jeans, but I'm wearing a pair of jeans on. So I'll wear them there, and then I'll wear them back on the plane. But I brought 2 jeans that are like nicer. The ones I just bought, and I washed them, and so I have those 2 pairs of jeans. And then, because I like to, like, if we're going out for like a date night, I like to put on a whole new outfit, you know, not like the jeans I wore the night before kind of thing. So I brought 2 pairs of jeans, and then I brought 3 button-down shirts, 1 for each night. Well, 4 button-down shirts because I need an extra just in case something happens to one of them. So I brought 4 button-down collared shirts. Ones you guys have all seen. It's like I brought these 3 Ralph Lauren shirts. One's blue, one's black, or one's navy-ish blue, one's black, and then the other one is like a teal color. And then I brought the polka dot shirt. I love that polka dot shirt. It's like a club room shirt from Macy's, and I love that shirt. I honest to God, you guys, I have it, and like I have like 5 different like versions of that shirt. I have like an XL, 2XL, blue, black, and I love that shirt, that little polka dot shirt. So anyway, it was so funny because somebody did this painting of Alex and I, and we have it in the bedroom. And in that painting, I have, like, they put me in that shirt, in that painting. It's like one of my favorite things that we have. When people send us like artwork of Alex and I or the dogs or whatever, we have it like all over the house, you guys. It makes me so happy. So anyway, so I brought the shirts, and I brought 2 swim trunks. I bought a new pair I was talking about, and then I brought another pair of like the Speedo brand, but they're not Speedos, they're trunks, like long trunks. And I don't know if it's even going to be warm enough to get in the water. I'm hoping so, because I would like to at least get in the pool or the ocean, but we'll see. And then I brought 2 pairs of sweat shorts for just being in the room, because I didn't know how much we're going to be like hanging out in the room or whatnot. And then I brought 5 t-shirts for 3 days. But you have to remember, okay, this is like me like walking around during the day, hanging out in the room, going, you know, to the beach if we go to the beach or the pool and whatnot. So, and that's what I brought. And then I actually did really well in shoes too. Alex and I literally bring like 6 or 7 pairs of shoes, even if we're just going for a couple nights. And I brought these dress shoes that will go with the jeans for my dinner, and then I'm gonna wear Birkenstock clogs on the plane. And then I brought a pair of like slides for the beach, and I also brought a pair of my Birkenstock plastic sandals. So real easy stuff to pack. And I mean, I couldn't believe how concisely everything fit in there. I was like, I am so impressed. I did so well this time. Oh, I have a Diet Coke. I keep on forgetting I have a Diet Coke. So I am packed, and I also have I was like, okay, Peter, you can stress yourself out trying to pre-film videos on all of your channels for the next 4 days, which is impossible. Or you can just do what you get done. And so I honestly hadn't really planned on pre-filming any videos at all. And then I went to go do a review, and I was doing this review at Joella's Hot Chicken of their pies in a jar. And look, I brought the pee-pee cup with me tonight. That's so cute. Oh, little Pee-Pee the flying chihuahua. I miss him so much. And so, but somebody had sent me this video that actually this guy used my clip in, and it was about crumble cookies and why people buy them and all this kind of stuff. So I ended up just doing kind of a response to that for my review channel. And then I did the Joella's Chicken, which is going up tomorrow. And then I came home, and I did this Peter Does Stuff video talking about Euphoria. And then I was like gonna do one while I was packing, but I just had these bags of stuff in the bathroom that I wanted to go through to see if there was anything that I wanted to take. This guy is like behind me but hanging back. It's like so weird. He was like right behind me and then he changed lanes. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna go behind you. So, and I don't know how long I'm gonna vlog tonight, since I have to, I wanna go home and render this and then get it uploaded and stuff. And so tomorrow, like, when we get there, I try to always, like, the first day that we're there, like, not have to, like, you know, open the computer or anything like that. Obviously, I'll film my vlog tomorrow night, just so that we can have, like, one full day of, like, just, you know, not doing anything. And then, so that'll be Thursday. Friday and Saturday, I will do I'll do a drama video each day, and then I'll do the vlogs, obviously. And then Sunday, I think I'm gonna pre-film a video. That's probably when I'll put up Alex's and I. We always do a video when we're on vacation. So we'll do a Q&A for Valentine's Day. So look for me on Instagram. I'll be posting that probably tomorrow or something. You can ask us questions or whatever over there. And then we'll do that video on, I'll probably post that on Sunday, because that's when we're gonna be flying back and stuff. And then Monday, I'll be back. So, got up today and started rendering the vlog, and then I took the dogs to the kennel. They were such good boys. They were so sweet. I just actually talked to Tanya on the phone. Today is Tanya's birthday. Happy birthday, Tanya. Everybody wish Tanya happy birthday in the comment section below. I know she probably won't read it, but I sent her the text today, or the tweet today, because I put out on Twitter, I said, so proud of my good Judy for 26 years of sobriety or whatever. I said, we do recover one day at a time. And so like 569 or 560 some people liked the tweet, and I sent it to her, and I was like, oh, isn't this so sweet? She was like, oh, I love that. She was like, oh, this Diet Coke tastes so good. I'm ready to just be on vacation for a couple days and just sleep in and hang out. I mean, I sleep in all the time, but you know what I'm saying. Watch some TV shows, movies with my husband, have some romantical time, eat some good food. Really kind of sounds like my life every day, doesn't it? I do have a good life. I have a really good life. And I do. I have a really good life. Very grateful for it. So, I don't know why I went this way tonight. I went a way that I don't usually go. I mean, I do sometimes go this way, but I haven't in a while. So maybe I'll circle back and go the other way, and I don't know. So anyway, I took the dogs to the kennel, and then I didn't even leave the house, so till like, oh, I didn't take them. I usually take them early in the morning. So my plan had been to get up at like 10. I think I set my alarm for like 10:30, but then when I couldn't, oh, this is the thing, so I couldn't sleep. So I went downstairs and I sat up for like a half an hour, 40 minutes, and I watched that episode of Euphoria, the in-between episode, and I sat there and I ate hummus and popcornopulous, chocolate covered popcorn, because I want to look really good in a bathing suit this weekend. So that's why I sat there and ate all that. So I did that, and then I went upstairs, and sometimes when I eat, I can fall back asleep. I just was like wide awake. And then Alex got up and he was going to work. So I changed my alarm because I had to move my car when he left. So I changed my alarm for, I think I set it for like 12:30 or something like that. But I didn't, I got up, didn't end up, got up later. I snoozed it a couple times, got up later, took the dogs to the kennel. It was like 4 o'clock, after 4 o'clock. And then there was something else I did. Do you remember the other day when I said my beard is really long and I need to trim it? You guys, I still have not trimmed it. I usually do it right before I go to my meeting, but I was running late last night, and I didn't want to be late picking up Tanya and her friend because I wanted to make sure that, well, I didn't know her friend was going last night until I got there, but I didn't want to be late picking up Tanya on her birthday. Well, I don't like to be late picking up Tanya ever, but she had said specifically, she's like, I'd like to get there a little early tonight. And I was like, okay. So, I just was like, it doesn't really matter. It's not like a 12-step meeting, it's a fashion show. So anyway, I took the dogs to the kennel, and then I did those 2 reviews, and then I came home and did the Peter Does stuff while I was uploading. So I'm like uploading, filming all these videos, you guys. I literally, it was like, at one point, like, Alex came home and he was like done packing everything, and he goes, "What's wrong, babe?" And I go, "I feel like I'm gonna upload a video to the wrong channel or something," because I had so much going on at one time, you guys. I was like, I have like 2 movies on a memory card that I'm like rendering and uploading to the computer, and then I'm trying to like, I was like, I'm afraid I'm gonna upload like the video to the wrong channel or do something. I said I need to pay attention. And I did have a Peterisms video that I filmed today, but it wasn't done until like 9 o'clock, and so I was like, okay, I can either post it at 9 o'clock tonight or I can post it in the afternoon tomorrow. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna post it tomorrow. So tomorrow I also have this vlog, and then a Peter Does Stuff video, and then a drama video, a Peterisms video, and a review video. So 5 videos for tomorrow. And then Friday and Saturday and Sunday, I'll just probably low-key it. So I felt like I got a lot of stuff done today. But the other thing is, like, stuff that I had to, like, go and get, like, you know, for this trip, it's like cash and whatever. Like, I kind of, like, went and did some of that stuff throughout the week, and usually I wait till, like, the day of to go and do all that stuff, and then it's, like, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I gotta run to Meijer and get contact solution. You know what I mean? Like, I always, like, wait till the last minute with all that stuff with packing and getting everything done. And, I didn't do that. So, like, I had gotten that stuff done throughout the week, so that stuff was just sitting on the counter ready for me to pack up. Oh, I still do have to pack up my backpack, because I have to put the computer in it, and that's the first thing that goes in it. And, I gotta figure out, I gotta download some other stuff since Alex wants to watch that James Bond movie. What's the last Daniel Craig's? Was it Spectre? I might watch the last one. I don't know if I remember the last one. I thought somebody was behind me with their nose. But I'm excited. We're gonna have a good time. Look at McDonald's is packed tonight. It's because it's the only fast food place that's open. Literally, oh my God, literally all the way around the building almost. So yeah, I'm loving Euphoria. I really, really, really want to listen to a little bit of my audiobook this weekend though, because I'm just like getting really behind this audiobook this month. I guess I could just wait until I come back and just, you know, whatever about it, but, well, I also wanted to listen to like a Dexter book, but, so I need to download a Dexter book. I need to figure out which one's the next one. That's something else I need to do tonight. I won't go to bed. Here's the thing, because by the time that I get my vlog up done, okay, which will be, I won't even walk back through the door till midnight, and then by the time that I get it rendered and uploaded, which is while that, because I'm going to do it on my phone, so it'll be real quick. That, I'm going to do all of that while I'm, like, putting my backpack together and stuff. So everything will be done, and I'll be ready to, like, walk out the door, because I have to trim my beard and do all that. Because I'll get up and take a shower at, like, 3:30. So, by that point, it'll be 1:30, and then I'll have, like, 2 hours of sleep. And the problem will be, is if I fall asleep, I'll be afraid that I won't wake up. Look at these clouds. What is going on? It rained a little bit earlier, but it was, like, just sprinkling of rain. It was really pretty. It's starting to feel a little, we're in February and I'm saying this, but yesterday and today felt a little springish. But spring is right around the corner. I was just telling Tanya, because she, like, had all this stuff she wanted to do today for her birthday, and she didn't really end up doing a lot of it. She ended up going and getting a couple's massage with her husband, and he brought her home. What is that? Shake Stack? No. Steak Shack. Shake Stack, did I say? Steak Shack for dinner, because that's what she wanted. And she worked a little bit this morning, but she took the afternoon off, and she was watching Celebrity Big Brother. I am not watching Celebrity Big Brother. People keep on asking me about this. You guys, I'm already behind, and honestly, I'm not too interested in a lot of the people that are in there. So I just... of all the shows that, you know, I can keep up with and watch, it's just not the one for me right now. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm gonna have to pull into this strip mall and see. I feel like one of my headlights might be out or something. It just feels like it's darker than usual. I don't know why it feels that way. There are potholes all over, you guys, Indianapolis right now. It's horrible. So I told Alex, I said, I'm going to need a little bit of a nap tomorrow when we get there. I can feel myself starting to relax. So, like, even if I don't go to sleep, I'll be fine. And I actually, you know, because I got up late, I'm not, like, tired or anything. But I can feel myself starting to relax and, like, into the vacation. Do you guys do that? Like, I am so stressed out, honestly, until, like, I am sitting at the gate ready to get on the plane. And I don't love to fly. Like, I do it because, obviously, I'm not going to miss out on going places in the world. But I'm just, when I was a kid, I loved to fly. It was like my dad, it was like one of my favorite things. In fact, I can remember, this is so cute. I don't know how I remember this, but I don't even know where we took it. But Fort Wayne, where my family lives, there's like a little airport there or something. And we took a plane from Indianapolis to Fort Wayne because that was like my first plane trip ever. And my dad wanted to like surprise me. And I remember I must have been like 5 or 6 or something, and I remember stepping off the plane. It was like you walk down, you know. It wasn't like a private plane. I mean, it was like a commercial plane, but like it was small. I've never been on a private plane in my entire life, and God love people that can afford private planes, but no thank you. And we actually had some friend of ours that were like, oh, we're gonna do this private plane. I was like, no. I will not get on a private plane. They're like, oh my God, you should see these planes, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't care. Good luck with your private plane, and I'm glad that you can afford it. I do not have any desire to be on a private plane. They scare the hell out of me. I don't love to be on planes anyway, let alone some little like small plane, you know? No thank you. So Alex even said to me, he was like, so if everybody took a private jet, you would fly commercial? And I go, oh, absolutely. He goes, are you kidding me? And I go, yeah, I'm not going on a private plane. There's some things I will not do. I won't bungee jump. I just forget it. There's no way. I know that thing would like split in half if it was on me. I wouldn't bungee jump. I'm not jumping from no plane. Like that stuff. All the things that my husband wants to do in life are the things that I'm not a risk taker. And I put my life at risk by using drugs and alcohol as long as I did. I don't need to be jumping out of a plane and risking. I just was watching something the other day. What was it? I think it was supposed to be a parody though, and the guy was talking about, was this some comedy show I was watching? Not comedy show, but I think it was like the woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window. It was something like the guy was talking about he jumped out of a plane, but when he landed and rolled or something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I was just watching this the other day. Now they look like they're on, so I can't tell, but I'm going to pull in front of like a window in this strip mall so I can see, instead of like actually getting out, because I'm so lazy. I sometimes, though, if I'm standing looking at my headlights, I cannot tell. But like if I'm looking in somewhere, I can tell. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, but I remember like walking off the plane in Fort Wayne and like all my family was there and stuff, and it was real cute, and I was real excited. I remember my dad and I both wore sport coats for it. So that was fun. And I used to love to fly when I was a kid. You could have put me on a 30-hour flight and I would have cared less. No way today. I actually remember back in the day when you could like smoke on planes, because my friend and I, we flew, her sister lived in London, and this was when I was like 19 or something. I don't know, it was a mess. And it was over New Year's. And we flew to London, and we sat in the back of the plane and got drunk as skunks the entire time and smoked cigarettes. I was like, I don't know how we were able to, but you had to like sit in the very back. No, my lights are completely fine. Why do I feel like they're like low? Don't think I didn't just like pull in. Just look at my lights, and I'm like, they're completely fine. Oh my god, a light went on over there. That's scary. Okay. So, but we sat in the back, and we were like in the very last 2 seats or something. Do you remember that, when you could smoke on a plane? That's so weird to me today, that would ever even be okay. Oh my god, we had so much fun on that trip. Well, some of the things that happened on that trip were not fun, but a lot of it was really fun. I walked out of this bar in London on New Year's Eve. So I really liked this bartender that was there. Anyway, it's a long story short. I walked out of this bar on New Year's Eve. I don't know why I'm going out this way. And they're like running after me and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like on the streets in London by myself at like 2 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Eve at like 19 years old. And I, of course, obviously don't know I have no clue where I'm at. This is before cell phones, right? I have no clue how I mean, to this day, I should call her and ask her, be like, girl, do you remember how you guys found me that night? She is one of my, like, she was my friend my senior year in high school, and then we were really good friends in college, and we've, like, stayed friends throughout the years and stuff like that. We still talk. She actually lives right off the street right here. And, she and her husband are so nice. And, but she and I partied so hard together back in the day, and my dad and my stepmother, they adore her. They, like, absolutely love her. And, we got away with a lot of stuff because they loved her so much. But you know what's so interesting is, she didn't use drugs or anything like that, but she drank really, really heavily like I did. And, I mean, we went out of the country and drank really heavily. We went to Mexico. Well, we went to South Padre Island together, all of us. Well, she and I, and then her boyfriend and a bunch of other people. I talked about that on here one night. And we went to Mexico, and I mean, it just we got ourselves in some really weird situations. And, you know, she drank alcoholically. I don't believe that she's an alcoholic. She just kind of put it down and stopped. I think she has like a glass of wine or a beer and stuff. I mean, she's not a heavy drinker today at all. And I mean, she can take it or leave it. And, you know, it's so interesting in looking back on that at that time. Because I don't believe that that's who I am. Like, I don't believe that I can take it or leave it. Like, I believe I am somebody that if I start using again, if I take the drink's gonna take me. Like, I really believe that about myself. But I don't believe that about a lot of people that I partied with back in the day. They were able to just kind of put it aside and they're fine. You know, it was more of like an age thing. I need to throw this away before I like take this all the way to, it's dead. And it's like to take it all the way to Miami with me. Here, I'm just gonna put it down here right now. We'll probably pass 15 Sephoras while I'm there. So maybe I can buy one around there. I think I'm out of them. But I am bringing Coco Cabana lotion and Coco Cabana shower gel, so, from Sol de Janeiro. But yeah, when I look back on that, like, I mean, she was as bad as I was at times. She would probably say that's not true, but she was. I mean, I can remember, kind of. She was also my biggest rescuer. I mean, when I got, like, my DUI and stuff, DUIs, she got me out. And, I remember one time, it was my friend's 21st birthday, and I was a designated driver, and then I got arrested for a DUI. And she and my friend they couldn't find me in jail because I'd given the police officers my fake ID, and I was arrested under that fake ID's name. Which, if you want to talk about a mess, okay? Being booked underneath a fake ID with a legitimate ID, state-issued ID, that was a driver's license, that you had gone in, and, I mean, that was not good. That was a story. My dad had hired this attorney because things were not looking good. It's a Class D felony, fraud, to have a fake ID and use it. And I had given it to the police officer as my ID because when I went out, I never brought my ID with me because if anybody said, let me see your pockets or something. I don't even know why I thought that way, but I never had my real ID on me. So when they were like, do you not have ID? I gave them my fake ID. They're like, how did you get in the clubs or something? I don't know. So the camera stopped. I've told this story before anyways, no new story, but we were in the courtroom. My dad had hired this attorney, and the attorney did not show up for the court date. My dad was, to this day, he actually wrote it in that letter that I was talking about the other day about like the Father's Day thing. He put it in there, and he said something about the worst attorney on the face of the earth that $5,000 could buy that doesn't even show up to your court date or something like that. He put it in the letter. And so the attorney doesn't show up, so it's my dad and I. My dad's like, you say yes or no, sir. I was like in a suit and, you know, tie and stuff like that, and so I'm standing there. So the attorney's asking me his questions. He's like, and now mind you, I don't remember a lot about what happened, right? And so the judge was like, asking me these questions, and I was like, yes, sir. And he's like, Mr. Monn. And I was like, yes, sir, no, sir, all this kind of stuff, right? My dad said something at one point. He said, sir, I'm not talking to you. Can you please sit down? And have my dad sit down. So, I think he said something to my dad about, sir, I'm not talking to you. Like, he was like, took a tone with my dad. And, so the judge is reading the police report, and it says on there, when asked if he could walk the sobriety line, Mr. Monn responded, walk it, I can vogue it. And so the judge reads it out loud. He, you know, the part, he's like, okay, Mr. Monn, it says here that the police, when asking you to do a sobriety line, your reply was, walk it, I can vogue it. And he goes, would you like to demonstrate? And my dad goes, oh, Jesus. I don't even know how I got out of that. And you guys, you want to know the really bad thing about this is true. This is so bad. So, you know, I had this, like, deal on my car that you had to blow into, like it was like a car starter, that you had to blow into it. So it was basically like, I don't think they do these on cars anymore. I don't know. But this was so long ago. I mean, I was like, you guys, at this point, I was like 19. It was 30 years ago. I can't even believe it was 30 years ago. So, to start my car, they put it on your starter or something, right? You have to blow into this thing. And so it has all these, like, disposable things that you put on the end of it, and you have to blow into it. But it's not like, so it looks like a breathalyzer, but it's like this little box thing that you have in your car. But it's not like, you don't blow into it, just go, oh, no, that's too easy, right? Because they're like, if you get drunk. You have to blow into it on these, like, it's like this pattern, and you have to go, like, or something like that. I don't know. So, I had learned tricks. Get sober. Oh, no, I didn't get sober from getting that DUI. No, that wasn't even a thought at that point. That did not get me sober. So I was still drinking. I was drinking heavily, right? My dad did not know that. I take the car in once a month. This was like after I had like lost my license for 6 months or something like that. I had to take my car in like once a month, and they would check it. And then it would show them, like it like ran some kind of like test on it. It would show them like it gauged it. And so you could like, you know, it would like keep track of like how many times you had failed to start it in the last month, and they would turn that over to your probation officer or whatever, right? Well, I had caught on to this thing pretty quickly. And so I was like, either I would have people that hadn't been drinking, because you could like, if you had, like, let's say if you had a beer or two, you could start it. But if you had like 6 beers in an hour, you weren't going to start it, right? So I knew that there was like some level of leniency on it. And so I would just ask people that hadn't been drinking that much. I would be like, hey, can you start this for me? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. And, or I also learned that it was something like if you sucked on a penny, like that took it, I don't know, something like that, and you could do it, right? So I had started this car. Okay, well, the morning that I had to go to this thing, I feel like it was right after like my 20th birthday. I had forgotten that I had to go to this appointment. And my roommate and I, the girl that lives in Berlin now, she and I had I had gone out. She had stayed home, I think. I had partied so hard the night before, and I was so hungover. And I had to get this car to this garage for them to start this thing, right? So I go down, and I can't start the car. And I know I am just reeking of alcohol. And so I go upstairs, and I'm like, girl, can you start this car for me? And she was like, yeah. So she comes downstairs, and I said, I have to get it to the garage. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, they're going to, arrest me. It's like a probation violation. I'm screwed, right? So I was like, I'm terrified of what's going to happen. This judge was really, really hard. And as he should be, you know? And so, I mean, there's nothing funny about this story. This story is so scary today when I look back on it, but it's just like, the fact that I never took any of it very seriously is just so sad to me, you know? Until later, but... So, and these things all added up to help me get sober later. I mean, the seed was planted, right? So that when I was ready to get sober, it was a lot. It was a combination of these things that kept me sober. So, I go to the garage, and they're working on it. They're doing all this. I'm sitting there, right? And they're like... And while I'm sitting there, Did she start it that morning? I feel like maybe I started it. Somehow I got it started. I don't know what happened. But anyway, so I got there, and I feel like I was able to start it that morning. Like, I don't know what happened. But anyway, but they're done with it. And they're like, everything's fine. You can go, blah, 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 whatever. And I go to start my car. And you guys, I can't start my car. Like, it won't start, and I'm failing the test, right? And they're like, what's going on? And, you know, and I always went to these things, like, you know, had done my hair and made sure that I looked appropriate for all this stuff, right? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, you know, maybe it's mouthwash. I use mouthwash and cologne pretty heavily. And they're like, yeah, we've had other people tell us that too. Why don't you try it again? And so I tried it again, and of course it fails, right? So they're like, well, how long ago did you use mouthwash? I'm like, oh, right before I left. And they're like, oh, well, that sets it off for like a while, which, by the way, is just complete BS. Let me just tell you. When I worked in treatment, we used to test it on mouthwash, and like I had like people that I worked with that would take like mouthwash and like gargle it and spit it out. Like, these were like tests that they did to see like how blood breathalyzers worked. And if you did that and blew into it right away, yeah, it would blow off the charts. Like, it would look like you had been drinking, but literally in like 2 or 3 minutes, if like you didn't use the mouthwash, it was gone. Like, it didn't last. So it wasn't like you were drinking alcohol just because you had mouthwash. That's a complete fallacy. That will not work as an excuse. Just like how they say the only way that you can test for LSD is in a spinal tap. That's completely inaccurate. You can test for literally anything in hair follicles or urine. End of story. And if you are in a lot of trouble and they ask for hair follicle samples, you are screwed, because hair follicle samples can go back for 6 months, and they can tell you exactly what you used on exactly what day. And I mean, those tests, the urine tests today are so accurate that are lab tested. Like, you can test at lab and you can say, I think this person was, you know, huffing a highlighter marker, and they'll test it for that, and it'll come back and tell you what brand of marker it was. I mean, they're literally that accurate today. So all of those myths and things of that's not true. It was interesting because when I was watching Euphoria, she was talking at one point about taking niacin, and I can remember people trying to take niacin to pass drug screens, and it doesn't pass it. It doesn't flush your system. The other thing is this, and we did this when I worked in treatment, and I think probation departments do this too. What's it called? When your test comes back clear, or like non-responsive, or whatever that's called. I can't think. What's the word I'm looking for? Not diluted, but like a diluted screen is a positive. They'll look at that as a positive. But when they can't determine this from the screen sample, like that's what happens with like niacin and things like that. They're like, we can't read this. Like, the test will tell you we can't read this screen. When that happens, then we would look at that automatically as a use. So if you had a screen that was messy or whatever, like we automatically looked at it as a positive use. I started telling this story, but I thought maybe I probably shouldn't tell this story. But yeah, a lot of stories about drug screens from back in the day. But you can't mess with a drug screen today, or people will look at it as a false positive, or, you know, whatever. Not a false positive. People will look at it as a diluted screen. And if it is a diluted screen, then that's what I was going to say. Diluted screens we would always look at, or if they were impossible to read, as positive screens back in the day. Anyway, so what was I talking about before that? Niacin screen. What was I talking about? Oh, so I was sitting there in this garage and I can't start this car. I'm sitting there, right? And these guys, they were so nice. And they're like, well, we're going to turn it up for you. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And they're like, well, we're going to turn it up so that, like, you know, because of the mouthwash or whatever, it's not going through your system. That way, like, it'll, you know, they kept on turning this thing up and turning it up and turning it up. Like, they turned it up as high as they could probably go. Not where it was like you could be flat out drunk on this thing, but I could surely, and don't call me Shirley, drink and drive on that thing, and I could blow into it and it would pass me after I left that garage. And I look back on that and I think they had to have known something was going on, you know. They had to have known this person is like, cannot start this car, you know. Maybe they were just being nice, I don't know. So anyway, it is interesting though to me, like when I'm talking about, you know, a lot of these friends, like my roommate, for example, or that friend of mine that I was talking about, or several of my friends. You know, I have a really good guy friend of mine that, like, I mean, he was one of two guys that came to visit me in treatment when I didn't even want anybody there. And, you know, we talked a couple years ago, and he's like master's level scientist. I mean, he's a great job, house, and he's so happy, and he doesn't do any of that crazy stuff. And, you know, I think about that, and I think about, I don't know, just how crazy my life was back then. But, like, all of our lives were crazy back then. And I think about that, and I think, I don't know, it's just so weird that... I will say this, for several of my friends, like, they were very aware that the party stopped. And for me, I was not aware that the party had stopped. Like, I was like, I don't think the party's over yet, you know? I've told this before about how when I was in treatment, that friend and another friend of mine, it was his roommate that came to visit me, you know, they were telling me about everybody that was in town, and I can remember I had this friend of mine that was a pastry chef that had moved to New York, and it was like, he had all these great things that was happening for him, and he and his boyfriend were buying this apartment in New York City and all this kind of stuff, and I can remember thinking to myself, Peter, the party is over and you don't even realize it. Like, it's done, right? Like, you're the only one that is continuing and continuing and continuing to do this, but, like, the party is over. So, yeah. You know what? I don't remember what time I started this vlog tonight. You're like, yeah, and we can go back and watch it. I can't. I don't remember. These dreams go on. I feel like it was like, was it like 51? Oh, it was 56. It was 56. It was 10:56. I don't know how I just remembered that. See, I do remember exact. I'll talk about that all the time. Like when I woke up and it was 3:42 in the morning, and I know people are probably like, "How does he remember the exact time?" I do though. It's like the weirdest thing. I remember like the exact moment because when I started, I said it was 10:56. It just turned 10:56. I don't know how I remember weird stuff like that. Isn't that strange? Do you know, I have to tell you a little bit of a secret, okay? Like, I'm really excited to go to Florida, and I'm really excited to go to the beach and stuff like that, but, like, I don't want to push it, like, if it's not super warm. Like, it's, like, in the upper 70s, and so I'm sure we'll go to the beach, but, like, if the water's not, like, super warm and whatever, like, I'd love to go for a swim in the pool or whatever, but to lay out, like, eight hours, you know, or 6 hours, because my husband will want to do that, I may just be like, I'm going to head upstairs to the room and watch a movie or something. You can hang out here down by the pool or down by the beach, because I just have to tell you that I am so excited about staying in a hotel. I'm so excited about, like I said, having romantical times with my husband this weekend and going on some date nights and getting dressed cute and all that kind of stuff. And we booked our dinners very late, which I'm excited about. We have one dinner this weekend at 10 o'clock. Well, we only booked 2 dinners. I think tomorrow night, I think we're going to walk over to, like, Lincoln Road. And, well, we had talked about either Lincoln Road or Ocean Drive and just, like, walk, because we haven't been to Ocean Drive in a long time. And maybe just walking up and down Ocean Drive and finding some place to eat dinner there, because the other 2 nights we're going to like kind of dressy place, not dressy, but nicer places. So yeah, so maybe tomorrow night we'll just like wear something comfortable and go to Ocean Drive, and then I'll have a big plate of pasta and a salad and whatever, I don't know. Or we might go to Lincoln Road. I love the restaurants on Lincoln Road. We have this restaurant we go to every time that we're there. It's this Italian restaurant, and we love it. It's called like Mama Rosa's or something like that. I just love walking through and looking at the street or looking at the shops and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I have not spent a lot of money lately, and I have room in my suitcase, so I could buy something if I wanted to, and I'm like, okay, no, that's not a good thing. I don't need to buy anything. But also, like, my next trip, my girls' trip, if I buy anything, it'll be like a hoodie or something. Like, that'll be like a cheap trip, you know? Like, well, I mean, we actually got a nice house. I'm really excited about it. We're gonna have so much fun. Tanya and our other friend want to cook like every night, and Tanya's like wanting to like fish while we're there and stuff. I'm just excited. That trip's gonna be so much fun. Each of our trips is gonna be so different and so fun. So yeah. I don't know what I'm hungry for on this trip. I'm always hungry for pasta when I go to Florida. But also, well, I know a couple things I'm going to be having, because I know one restaurant, what I'm going to get while we're there. And the second restaurant, their menu changes, so I have no idea. And then I don't know where we'll go tomorrow night. So probably maybe tomorrow night I will have pasta, because y'all know I love the pasta. Oh, the other thing is when we get there, we have to go to the CVS or the Walgreens, and we have to get snacks. You have to have snacks. I don't know how you go through a weekend without snacks in a room. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. Super excited. It was so funny because like today I was like starting to stress out about all this stuff that I wanted to get done and whatever, you know. And then I was like, if you don't get it done, you don't get it done, whatever. Like, as long as you have your medicine money and your driver's license, you're fine to go to Florida. If you have to buy something while you're there, you buy it while you're there. You know what I mean? It's like, I was just like, I'm not going to stress out about this. I did it again. I was telling a story about a friend of ours that we might meet up with while we're in Florida, and I just started saying their name like it was no big thing. I do that all the time. I always am just like, sometimes when I'm vlogging, I'm like, I forget, and I feel like I'm just like talking to Tanya Jean or something, you know. I'm like, oh, when we're in Florida, we're going to see so-and-so, and oh, you know, so-and-so, remember from the blah, 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 blah. And that's kind of what I was doing, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I should probably stop this vlog anyway and get off of here, because I need to get home. Being that we have to leave the house in like 4 hours or something, I need to get home and upload this vlog, but I just don't want to stop vlogging because I love all of you so much, and I'm just having such a good time. I haven't even finished my Diet Coke yet. But no, like for real, I do need to get home, because I think I want to download that Dexter book. Well, that takes 2 seconds. But I think I want to download, I have to look it up though to see which one I'm on next. I want to download the Dexter book. And then I also have to download shows to watch on the plane, since my plan of watching James Bond is not happening in Bond. James Bond. Hi, I'm Bond. James Bond. I think I'd make a pretty good James Bond, don't you think? Oh, man. Well, you can turn it all around, and you can, I would love to be in shape like Daniel Craig, you know, and be the super sexy supermodel of the world. You better work, supermodel. That's going to be me down the road. You know it is. Anyway, okay, I'm going to get off here now, you guys, and I am going to go home. and I am going to render and upload this vlog while I'm getting the rest of my stuff done so that it will be ready for you guys tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be ready early, because if I get it done tonight and then it'll be ready to go tomorrow, I can just have it scheduled for like 5 or 6. Won't that be so fun? So anyway, and then tomorrow, do you know what starts tomorrow? Oh my God, the Florida vlogs! The Florida vlogs return. It's the beginning of the Florida vlogs. So anyway, all right, you guys, I'm gonna get off here, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Thursday. Remember these 3 things. You can start your day over whenever you want. Practice random acts of kindness, and most importantly, reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Whatever way you want to do that, whether it's text or phone call, or just stopping by, or sending a gift if you want, or a telegram, or put a note in their mailbox. That even, you know. Anyway, and I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya! Oh, and for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya! Happy birthday, Lena!